Hi, I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rihanna, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Broke.
Fresh Off the Broke is about personal experiences growing up Asian American in a predominantly white community, Asian media, and Asian pop culture in general. Race has always been a sensitive topic. Every day there's a debate over race. With our podcast, we intend to shed light on the experiences of first-generation Asian immigrants, not put them on a pedestal.
We understand that race isn't everything, but there should be an acknowledgement of people of color, the knowledge gap, and the racial divide that will ideally be broken. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into the episode. Today we'll be discussing Asian couple culture.
Gosh. Well, it's almost Valentine's Day.
Yay!
Do you have a Valentine?
How do I say this? No. What about you?
I was excited for a second. I thought you were going to say something. No. No. We're both on the same boat here.
Perfect. Well, pretty on brand for us.
Fresh off the broke, fresh off the single.
Fresh off the no Valentines this year.
I like how her name is so versatile.
I know.
Fresh off the couple culture. Fresh off the what is this intro.
Yeah. Have you ever had a Valentine's?
No.
Fair.
I've been single my whole life, which is a weird thing to say because I'm so young. So technically, yeah. I mean, it is my whole life, but also I haven't lived for that long.
Yeah.
So we're good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Have you ever had a Valentine?
In the 8th grade, and it was the funniest thing ever because I dumped him after.
Oh, on Valentine, like the day after Valentine's?
No, like recent after Valentine's, and I felt bad, but it's okay.
Is he okay?
I don't know. But that doesn't count, you know? That's basically like when you're like in kindergarten and you're like, this is my boyfriend. It's like, okay, yep, he is your boyfriend, you know?
Was it like one of those short couple of weeks middle school relationships?
It wasn't a couple. It was more than a couple weeks, I think. It was maybe like it was. I don't even know if it was like a month. But yeah,
you don't think it passed the month mark.
It was.
I don't know if it counts in middle school.
It was probably more than a month, but it basically was one of those overnight things, and then everyone's over it the next day, you know.
I mean, that's kind of how middle school relationships are like.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even know that kindergarten boyfriend or like relationships were a thing until someone brought it up to me one time in middle school. Because
what?
Sorry?
It's so confusing because it's like, how do you even remember that?
I just don't know. How do 4-year-olds know what boyfriends and girlfriends or partners are? It's not necessarily a forbidden topic. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things that people would tease you about when you were younger. Definitely not parents. Well, depends on your parents, I guess, but it was more like when your aunt or uncle came and was like, "Oh, do you have a boyfriend?" And it's like, "Ew, no."
Yeah. I used to get asked that a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm 4.
Yeah, and then I had this one family friend. She would ask me these really weird questions, and I don't mean weird like inappropriate. They were just weird in the sense that I wouldn't know how to answer them because how would I know? Like I remember the one time she like staged a scenario with me. I don't really remember what it was, but it was just something along the lines of if I had a boyfriend. What? And she staged some random scenario, and I didn't know how to answer her because I mean, one, I never had a boyfriend, and then two, why are you asking me this?
Yeah, that is weird.
Do relatives nowadays, do they still ask you? Because I know that for girls at least, they're like always asked this by relatives, especially if they're nearing like an adult age.
Yeah. I think, well, I posted this on my private story actually, and you've seen it and you replied to it. I have one auntie who is the funniest when it comes to that. Like, she's like, Rihanna, you can tell me, you can tell me, I won't tell anyone. Like, she's very much like that.
Yeah.
She's always like, oh, Rihanna, like on my birthday, she texted me and she's like, oh, happy birthday, I love you so much. I hope, what did she say? It was something about like me definitely having a boyfriend and
Oh
like,
my god.
yeah, and I was like, auntie, I really don't. Please. But yeah, she's, it's more the teasing type relatives for me,
Yeah.
but it definitely does happen.
Mhm.
What about you?
For me, I would say I'm pretty much on the same lines as you. I haven't really had relatives that were rushing me in any way or being like, why don't you have a boyfriend or why don't whatever, because I'm still very young.
Yeah.
That's not important right now.
Yeah.
But I do have two similar incidents to you. One time when I went back to China, my mom's friend, when my mom was in the washroom, her friend turned to me and asked in a very quiet voice, do you have a boyfriend?
That's so funny.
Like, you know what? I'm flattered that you thought that.
Yeah.
I'm flattered. I'm flattered that you thought that this was one that was possible, and then two that you had had, I don't know, the respect to do this on my mom's account because you thought I was doing it secretly.
Yikes.
But yeah, that was really funny. I said no, and she was like, "Why?" And then I said because I said that it was because I didn't like anyone. I thought that was the better answer than no one likes me. Because I mean, I guess it was mutual.
Felt that.
But then my aunt, I have an aunt that is also pretty similar to yours. And one time we had a conversation like that, and she was like, "Oh, do you have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "No." And I was like, oh. And she's like, "Yes, you do." And I'm like, "What?"
Yes, you do.
And then this is unrelated to actually having a boyfriend, but when I go back to China, I always get devoured by mosquitoes.
Oh.
And I had some mosquito bites on like my neck. You see where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt was like making all these jokes about how they looked like hickeys or something.
Oh my
I was like,
god.
oh my god, don't do this.
Please.
Please don't do this. And she was like, that's how you know the mosquito was probably a guy. And I was like, what? What are you trying to say here?
What?
I mean, I appreciate the humor, but I'm also kind of in pain right now.
Felt that.
But yeah, I've always been absolutely devoured by mosquitoes. So I guess that's something that likes me.
My god. Well, I guess we can move on to explaining what Asian couple culture is specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I want to say that first of all, I can't really speak on this because in the Philippines, there's not really a big couple culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I can talk more on like the contrasting Western side because I have relatives who are young adults who are very much within pop culture and the stereotype of what Western couple culture is.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But yeah, do you want to maybe explain couple culture?
Oh, I thought you were gonna, because it sounded like you were going along that route.
Oh, do you want me to?
I can if you want.
Oh, okay. I'll explain the Western side, and you can explain the
Okay.
Asian side.
Okay. How about you do the Western side first, and then
Okay. Because
that way I feel like it's better that way.
Okay. So I think there's a lot of different things going on in media right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one big thing that I think is very toxic is like, what's the word? Social media couples.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like couple channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very much just flexing and look, I bought my girlfriend a diamond ring that costs like $15,000, you know, and especially in songs as well, it's very much like she's for the streets or she's mine, or like I don't know how to explain it.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say here in Western society, relationships have very much kind of been watered down to like hookup culture and stuff like that.
Yes, that's what it is.
Is that what you're trying to say earlier?
Well, that's like a good way to summarize it. It's basically just hooking up, and that's it.
Yeah, and I remember seeing those memes like about love songs back then versus love songs now.
Yeah, but it's really true, to be honest.
Yeah, and there are still love songs now that are more on the romantic, wholesome side, but it is true that like rap songs or just songs that are more about hooking up are blowing up.
And also, that's what younger people are like consuming as media, so it reflects in their relationships. It's crazy to see like middle school kids taking relationships seriously, or like young high school kids taking things really seriously. And also the whole thing about the senior going for the like freshman.
Oh my god.
And how crazy big that is here.
Yeah, it's so romanticized.
Yeah.
There's always those freshmen, and it's mostly, I would say it's usually a senior guy going after a freshman girl. And it just kind of bothers me how it seemed like a fantasy. You know, there's the freshman girl like, oh my god, I want a senior boyfriend.
Yeah.
I can go to prom. And you know, there's a weird power dynamic going on since there's that age gap.
Yes, definitely.
Because the freshman just transitioned into a new life stage as a pre-young adult. Would that count as a pre-young adult?
I mean, like, I feel like you just become a teenager.
Okay, yes. And then the senior is almost 18, 19, and almost a legal adult.
Actual adult.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, why do you want to be with a senior / why do you want to be with a freshman?
Yeah. Also, like, it's pretty known that it's like in media in general, people always make warning videos being like, he doesn't actually like you, you're a freshman and he's a senior, make it make sense. But people still fall for it, you know?
Yeah, and most of the time, it's the senior basically wants to hook up with the freshman and then dump them later or ghost them later or something. Yeah. Which is honestly pretty unfortunate.
It really is.
And I wish people would be more self-aware about these things.
I know.
But at the same time, I feel like some of the people are self-aware and they just don't care.
Yeah, that is true.
Because who's stopping them? At least
the older people
in their mind, who's stopping them?
Yeah.
I feel like with Asian couple culture, it's a lot more. Is wholesome the right word?
I think so.
I would say it's a lot more wholesome or just less sexualized. Because especially in the media, if you watch an American television show versus an Asian drama, the American show maybe in the first episode, the first couple of minutes, people are already hooking up together.
Yeah.
And then with an Asian drama, for example, a Korean drama, they don't kiss or hold hands until the 5th or 8th episode. Or in anime, sometimes they don't confess until the last episode.
Yeah, it's like that's the whole plot.
Yeah. they definitely take things slower in the media on the Asian side, and I think part of it might have to do with different parental mindset. Since with Asian kids, it's always you're not allowed to date someone until you're in university or you finish university, or the very well known "you're not allowed to date until you're married" joke.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird if you think about it literally.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to date until you're married. It sounds like you're gonna go cheat. Sorry.
Oh
very, very morbid.
I mean, honestly, I feel like, I don't know if this is just me, and maybe I'm generalizing, but I feel like in Asian couple culture, the guys are like held to a more decent, like, what's the word? Level of like just how you treat, standard. Oh my gosh, wow. They're held to like a higher standard of how they should treat their significant other, like here it's like the guy literally doesn't do anything pretty much, and if he's like remotely nice, then you're lucky,
Yeah, I do agree, because even though there's definitely misogyny and stuff like that in Asia, there is a whole patriarchy issue. I do agree, especially nowadays, a lot more guys, they learn how to cook, or it's more common that guys learn how to cook as well, instead of, oh, the woman belongs in the kitchen, go make a sandwich. Although the go make me a sandwich thing did originate from America.
Yeah.
And also, I remember my grandma, she made a joke about this, about how guys have to try harder nowadays. Which, you know what? Yes, you do.
Yeah. It's sad. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine who's younger, and she was basically saying, like, I think this guy is the one, which he's not. You're like 12. Like, calm down. But she was like, he hasn't asked me for nudes yet. And I'm like, is that your standard of who is the one? Someone being a decent human being? It's like, it's crazy. It's so sad.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And then you see like pictures of Asian couples where the guy like ties the girl's shoe.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And also here, another thing, like matching clothes, Here I feel like people would want to throw up at the thought of wearing matching clothes with their significant other,
Yeah, it's considered
or if you
or just a picture thing.
Yeah, and if you do wear that stuff, you're like a crazy couple, But there, it's like they do it well. I mean, there is in Asia,
Yeah, and I would say that it definitely has to do with how Asians are more conservative.
That's true.
And I would say PDA here is a lot more common / acceptable than it is in Asia. If there's excessive PDA in Asia, that's looked down upon or just seen as rude.
Yeah.
And then I heard that there was a article I read a really long time ago with looking at this through like a cultural lens, and they were saying how since PDA isn't as accepted in Asia, wearing matching clothes is wearing matching clothes is the Asian way of doing PDA, since that's your way of showing that you're together or like committed to each other.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And then there's this other trend, you just reminded me, where couples, they will change their SIM card holder on their phone, like they'll switch it.
Oh, that's so cute.
So if one person has a blue phone and one person has a green phone, when they switch it, there's a little green chip in the blue phone or a blue chip in the green phone, and it's so cute.
That's so cute.
Gosh, I cannot with Asian couples sometimes, honestly. They're so cute.
Yeah. it like hurts to watch. Like especially all the trends that come out and it's like a really cute couple. Okay, also talking about trends, like the Western trends are like record yourself while your boyfriend is playing video games and then climb onto his lap, right? And all of the videos are literally just the boyfriend throwing the girl off his lap and being like, "Stop bothering me," you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? Is this really a flex?
Is that a TikTok trend?
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen one. I've seen other ones, but I haven't seen this one.
There's like, it's always like when the boy just sits there and then makes space for the girl to sit on his lap. People are like, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky, couple goals." And then when it's like the guy throwing her off, it's like, "Oh, that's funny." It's like, no.
Yeah. Sorry.
Also like I get that the guy, if he's doing something, then don't bother. Like if you're being annoying on purpose, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you don't have to throw someone off your lap. Just be like, "Hey, I'm busy." Communication. Come on.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about couple channels, one thing that I noticed about them is that a lot of them tend to be prank channels.
Oh yeah.
Or more clickbaity type of content creators. And the thumbnails are always so over the top, and it always looks like they're about to have sex or something.
Yeah.
Usually couple videos that I see with Asian couples, at least the ones that I see on my Instagram, like TikTok videos from Instagram, well I guess Douyin, but it's still TikTok. They're usually a lot cutesier.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like showing off matching clothes or kind of like a quick mini vlog, if that makes sense. Which I know that couples here do as well. Vlogging is really big here.
Yeah.
Daily vlog. Subscribe to our daily vlog channel. How do you do daily vlog?
You don't have a life. You spend the rest of the night editing. You don't sleep.
But what do you film every day?
I don't know. Unless you're like David Dobrik, you shouldn't be doing a daily vlog.
I don't know if daily. I almost called him Daily Dobrik.
Daily Dobrik.
I don't know if David Dobrik should be doing daily vlogs either. I don't think.
Yeah, when he first started off, they were like nothing happened.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was just him and his friends like basically doing bits.
Uh-huh. I never watched him.
I went through my phase, unfortunately.
You went through a David Dobrik phase?
Yeah, but it was just like watch his videos. I wasn't like a fan or anything.
Yeah. No judgment. That's not a problem.
Just judge me so hardcore, but it's okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm kidding.
Going back to what I said about Asian couple videos, one thing that I noticed is really popular are videos about not having to worry about like your boyfriend texting other people. I've seen a lot of videos. They're like stage skits and stuff where the girl will try to secretly look at the guy's phone and the guy just gives it to her or something, and then it's supposed to be wholesome and cute because it's like, oh, I can trust him or something, which is a little. I don't know how I feel about the whole. I have to have all his passwords. I have to have all their passwords. They want to have all my passwords.
Yeah,
I don't think that necessarily means that they're not talking to someone or that this is a strong relationship.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I don't know. I just feel like, well, one, privacy, and two, there are things that could be taken out of context as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like, well, I guess if they were cheating, you would be able to tell, but also it can turn into this whole thing where you're just going on their phone to look for something bad, and then if you can't find something bad, you think maybe they deleted it or they have another phone or something, and then it just turns into a bunch of paranoia for no reason.
I feel like that shouldn't even be something that people flex about, because again, I feel like the way that people say, oh, I looked through my boyfriend's phone and I didn't find anything, or like, I'm crazy, I looked through my boyfriend's phone. That's not a flex. That's called you're actually crazy and you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, it's a trust issue thing.
Yeah, it's not your significant other with the issues, it's you.
Mm-hmm. This topic is actually brought up a lot in Chinese media. I'm saying Chinese media because that's what I'm exposed to. For example, on dating shows, I remember seeing a couple episodes on TV where people were talking about how this is a deal. It was a debate. Some people were saying that it's a deal breaker if they want to go through, if their partner would want to go through their phone and always monitor it. And then there were some people for it saying that they have to look at their significant other's phone because it makes them feel safe. And I just don't get it. I don't see how you would feel safe after looking through everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it says a lot about you.
Yeah. And there was this one girl. One time I saw some dating show, and this is completely shameless too. She was saying how she liked going through her boyfriend's phone, and then the guy on the dating show was like, "Okay, that's fine. You can look at my phone." And she was like, "No, but I like secretly looking at their phone. I like looking at their phone. I like looking at their phone when they're not there, when they're not looking." And what do you want?
That's crazy.
He straight up said, "Okay, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. I mean, I don't have anything to hide." And then she said, "No, I need to do it when you don't know about it."
That's crazy.
How are you gonna plan this?
Why?
Are dating shows popular in the Philippines? At least to your knowledge?
From what I know, no.
No, there aren't like trashy bachelorette versions of. I mean, Filipino versions of Bachelorette or
Actually,
The Bachelor.
I think there is a Filipino version of Bachelor/Bachelorette,
Mm-hmm.
but from what I see, which is very limited, I don't really think that dating shows are popular. Also, like, just to note, my family doesn't have any like Filipino channels, and I'm just going
Mm-hmm.
off what I see when I'm with my relatives. So I'm probably like wrong, but I don't. There's nothing to note.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just K dramas are a really big thing,
Mm-hmm.
so that kind of influences like dating culture in the Philippines as well.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there's no like, oh, the Philippines does this specific thing for dating culture. You know, like it's not like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen. Well, I haven't watched them, but I've seen a lot of Filipino versions of K-dramas.
Yeah, there's a lot of romance shows or movies. That's a really big thing, but that it's more of just something that people like to watch. You know.
Mm-hmm. Over in China, I would say it might just be because I'm more exposed to it,
Hmm.
but I would say dating shows and variety shows, like independent Chinese ones, are pretty popular. For example, there's these two really big ones that I'll put up on the screen. Okay, the one on the left. Okay, it's called San Song Chen Dai Wei, and I'm pretty sure the English name would be New Chinese Dating.
Mhm.
or something along the lines of that, because that show is all about doing dating differently and in a more holistic way, and it includes your friends and your family. And then the one on the left, the one on the right, the one on the right. I know my directions, I promise. Has been going on for many years. It started in 2010, going 11 years strong, and it's called Facing You, and the English name is If You Are the One. And this one's more of your typical. There's a group of women, and then there's a male contestant that comes out, talks about himself, and then if they like him, they pick him, and then they have to see if he likes them back. That's my more simplified way of explaining this show, because offline, when I tried to explain both of these shows to Rihanna, it was pretty complicated. Because with dating shows, they always have their own sets of rules and concepts. And unless you're a viewer or unless you have actual visual tools, it's a little complicated to explain. Because they're not like 90 Day Fiancé or shows like that. They have a little bit more complicated rules. But anyways, these two shows are very popular. Very, very much popular. And honestly, I was pretty surprised when I watched these, because they're a lot more quote unquote woke or progressive than I would think. Because the one on the left came out around 2019. It was pretty new. It came out when I went back to China, which I'm pretty sure is the summer of 2019. Yes, no, it came out. Oh, 2018. Okay, then I watched it in the summer of 2018. I stand corrected. So I stumbled upon this show during the summer of 2018 when I went back to China, and it was just playing on my grandma's TV. And so out of curiosity, I watched it, and I was genuinely surprised because it was a lot more wholesome and a lot less superficial than I thought it would be. And I think it's probably because I'm so used to trash television or trashy reality shows from over here. Because I don't know, I feel like over here dating shows are seen as a much more superficial or just something trashy or like a guilty pleasure that people like watching because they're a huge mess, and then people like watching them because it's funny. But this show, a lot of people succeed in finding a partner, and they typically go on to get married or just be in a long-term relationship, and then they contact the host or contact a company and send a video or photos of them together, and then it's this whole very nice, wholesome, aw, they're together thing. And then with the show on the right, it started out pretty superficial, to be honest. I think it might just had to do with the time it came out, because it was 2010. But the same time in 2018, I revisited the show just because it was playing, and it's gone through a lot of changes. It's a lot less superficial and trashy as it was in the past. I would say back then it would definitely be like a staple trashy reality / dating show that people would watch for fun. So my family doesn't have cable, but my grandma on my dad's side, she has like some Hong Kong channels somehow. I don't know if she paid for it as an add-on or something, or if it's just one of the channels that it came with. But it plays this show on the right a lot, and so growing up, if we ever saw it, I remember it was just something that you would watch to cringe at, if that makes sense. because like the contestants were really rude or just like superficial and like after money and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Nowadays, they discuss a lot more serious topics and like pretty much I would say more taboo topics. For example, some contestants they would confide talking about uh, their relationship with their parents. For example, there was this one girl that had a really rocky relationship with her father. Her parents were divorced, so she just with her father. And her father was like really mean and really controlling of her. And if he didn't approve of a guy that she liked or a guy that she was dating for a while, she would have to break up with him or not be with him anymore. And there was no discussion. That was just period. He's gone.
Yeah.
And the host they would give her advice, and they would also give the audience or just viewers advice, saying, "Oh, if this is the situation you're in, you should know you're not alone." Blah blah blah. And then they also had a thing where they said, if you're a parent and you're doing this, like you should consider your child's feelings. They're an adult, and also at the end of the day, that's the person that they're gonna be with. You're not gonna be with them, and also, uh, it's their happiness at stake, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's refreshing to see, for me at least, because I'm just so used to, like I said earlier, trashy American reality shows
Yeah.
where everything turns into memes and everyone just watches it for the jokes. But I will say this confidently. I watch both of these shows regularly,
Oh yeah.
and they're interesting to me. And I don't care if you don't like it because it's my time anyway.
Period. Yeah, like a lot of Western dating shows are very much based on sex, I would say, or
Mhm.
hookups. I think the Bachelor, wow, the Bachelor slash the Bachelorette is also very much like they make it very sensual.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it before.
Well, all I like remember from like clips on TV when they like there's like a new drama thing that happened.
Uh-huh.
I just remember it would always be like the lighting was very warm, dark lighting, and there was always
Right.
candles. Yeah, and
Okay.
all of that. And then also another one, a popular one. It's not from the US though or Canada. I think it's from the UK, Love Island.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Love Island.
Yeah, it's very much that one's also very much based on just like hookup culture, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, I would say that American dating shows and Asian dating shows, they focus on different things.
Definitely.
With Asian ones, they focus a lot more on building a relationship. For example, I'm not sure if this is still a thing, but I remember China, they had their version of We Got Married,
Mm.
which is a Korean dating show where two celebrities they pretend to be married for I don't know how long, but for a period of time, and then they're just together, the couple. And I don't know. I feel like shows like that, at least from what little bit I've seen of it, they're a lot less focused on sex than American shows. Right?
Yeah, I just especially We Got Married. If that was an American show, it would be very much like sex based or drama based, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember watching it and being like surprised that there was no weird commentary.
Yeah. It definitely is a lot more focused on building a relationship of some
Yeah,
sort. Even though at the end of the day, they're not actually dating, and then after the show's over, they're just friends or something.
still, it's wholesome.
Yeah, definitely a lot more wholesome. Yeah, it's definitely. I know I mentioned this earlier, but Asians are 100% way more like modest about dating.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I prefer watching. Well, if I had to, I prefer watching like Asian romance. I feel like sometimes uh when I if I watch like an American show, I've seen American shows and movies, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with them because different cultures
Yeah.
obviously, but there are certain shows or just certain things that make me a little uncomfortable to watch.
It's it also like is pretty obvious in our mindsets. Like we make jokes about being quote unquote painfully single, but at the end of the day, I don't think either of us are like dying to get a boyfriend, you know?
No, yeah, no.
Yeah, like it'll
Yeah.
happen when it happens, you know?
Yeah.
But from what I see, like kids in middle school or kids in high school are like, I need one right now. Like they're doing everything they can. Especially the fact that there's a dating app for children in Canada and
Oh,
the
you
US,
mean
Yubo.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me and it's crazy dangerous, but it's like it's crazy. Wow, crazy. Um it's crazy to see that like children are that desperate to get out there and date someone. Like again, I keep bringing up my one friend who's younger than us, but she's way too young to be even like caring about this stuff. And she's like, Rihanna, when you are at my wedding, and I'm like, pause, pause. You need to pick your courses for next year high school. I don't want to hear anything about marriage right now.
Yeah, and there's also like we said, talking about how everything's a lot more sex focused, there's a really big pressure for kids or like middle schoolers, which is this is like just genuinely messed up to me, like to lose your virginity.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's
And
yeah.
even in songs, uh, going back to the whole meme thing about songs back then versus now, there's songs about like losing your virginity at like 13 or something. And
Yeah.
I mean, you, you do you, I guess, but at the same time, you don't. This isn't something that you have to or you should be worrying about.
Yeah. Like I'm glad that we're both, you know, on the same page about this stuff
Hmm.
because it's crazy how widespread it is throughout our like circles, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like can we all just chill out? We're literal children. Well, not children, children.
Yeah.
Like we're not grown. We
Hmm.
have other problems to think about and those shouldn't be one of them. Then
Yeah.
again,
Yes.
like if you are in like a relationship and whatever, and I guess like it's not to um what's the word, um invalidate that all that, but like you know it's not that big of a deal right now.
Yeah. And if you're listening to this and your friends are pressuring you to meet someone or something, because actually someone I know was telling me and my friends about how their friends keep trying to set them up with someone even though they don't
Yeah,
want to be set up, and we were trying to like give her advice or console her, saying that they're doing this without her consent, and if she's happy being single, then good for her, right?
yeah, like
It's her
why
decision.
I don't like how people who are single are looked down upon. And that's not me being like, I'm salty because I'm single, you know? It's like why is it such a big deal when someone doesn't have a boyfriend and they're or a girlfriend or a significant other
Yeah,
and they're like almost an adult? Like why is that a big thing? It isn't.
yeah, and even first kisses or something.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a first kiss when you were in kindergarten or if you were in the second grade, then what are
Yeah.
you doing? And that's not an okay mindset
Yeah,
or
no.
an okay thing to instill in people's minds.
Yeah.
Because then it just turns into a whole thing where it's about like being cool or being normal. Oh, am I not normal because I'm 25 and I still haven't had my first kiss or something, or I haven't been in a relationship? No, it's 100% fine.
Yeah.
There's no list of things that you must do by a certain age. I mean, I guess this is more of just a whole unnecessary milestone kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really don't like the idea of how you must do something, you must do this by then, or else you're not normal. And then, if you must have had your first kiss by 6, and then you must have lost your virginity at like 16.
Yeah. Tone it down, y'all. That's it.
But yeah, gotta love yourself before you love someone else.
Yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah, you know what? Being single is okay, and we're not just saying that because we're single.
Yeah. Oh. And there's noise in my area. I think that's a cue to stop. My dad was just like, let me take the loudest shower I've ever taken ever.
I mean, we're basically going to a close.
Yeah. Do you want to,
I'm trying to think of how to close this because we got interrupted.
So thank you guys for watching.
Yeah. I guess we could close it with like a reminder or something.
Didn't we do a reminder?
No, how do we close this reminder?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Take care of yourselves before you even start thinking about someone else, because it'll just hurt you in the long run.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like with relationships, it shouldn't be something that you just keep waiting for. It's like, oh, it has to happen by then, or I really want a boyfriend before Valentine's Day. Oh, or even cuffing season. I don't know when that started becoming a thing, but at some point in our life, cuffing season started. And then everyone was like, "Oh, it's cuffing season. I should get a boyfriend, or I should have a partner." And no, you don't have to. You don't ever have to.
Yeah. Like, you don't even need to be in a relationship at all.
Yeah.
It's only just a preference to you, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says. I really feel.
Getting emotional in here. Yeah. We're ending this off on a very wholesome note.
Unlike our other episodes.
What are you trying to say here? Remember the first time outro?
That was a good outro.
You were about to cry.
No, I wasn't.
I'm joking. I'm
sorry. You getting defensive?
What are you trying to say? Well, anyways. Thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Leave a comment down below about your thoughts on the whole Asian dating culture versus American dating culture, your experience with that if you have any. And feel free to suggest some dating shows, American or Asian, that we can watch and check out, or other viewers can check out. And leave your thoughts on hookup culture. This actually, I remember a while ago there was a song that went viral about hookup culture. I might link it if I can find it so I remember it. But yeah, feel free to comment down below your thoughts, your opinions, recommendations, and you know what? If you're part of the single gang, you can leave a comment. We see you. We'll chill together.
If you want to find out more about us, check out the card link in our Instagram bio. It contains links to our streaming platforms such as Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and more. Follow us for more behind-the-scenes content, announcements, and other random things we decide to put on there.
Thank you. Bye.